Yeah, I'm here in Jerusalem Friday night with a great view. Not my living room. This is something that one of the community, Roy Kendall, said the other day, which I took to heart. That you should do more lives like with a good view in the background. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. I should. Well, anyway, I'm out now, so I thought I would do one. But of course, the minute I hit go live, guess what happened? My daughter called. Course, that would be natural, right? Okay, so anyway, I'm here in the Christian Quarter, and this is Newgate is right down there, Notre Dame right down that way. It's so this would be the Christian Quarter. Most of the restaurants that are here are Christian owned and operated. This is church land, pretty much, but it's also Shabbat. So religious Jews will be going by here to the wall and coming from that neighborhood right over there. So it's like this crazy convergence all right here in one place. And here is one of our absolute favorites. Rewind, Mies. Let me show you. You see Mies right there? That is the word, the Armenian word for meat. And it is some of the best burgers right there. This guy serves up some of the best burgers in Jerusalem. Shukran, shukran. So seriously, great stuff. They have some really good burgers and steak and a vegan one too if you need. And anyway, lots of restaurants and cafes over here. Armenian ceramic shop as well. And hi, how are you? So so anyway, but that's not why I'm here. But anyway, hi, how are you? Okay, so I'm here to let's talk about Syria because if you're watching, if you saw a couple days ago, my live from a couple days ago, I it was like Syria was absolutely exploding. So many, um, there was like very serious fighting, like at the time, even that Israeli military was involved, like bombing Syrian armed forces convoys that were heading to a Druze village in southern Syria. So at the time, I did not report that there was a ceasefire. And by the way, there was a ceasefire, but it doesn't matter because the ceasefire has totally not held. There now, it's not just about the Syrian armed forces that are involved in attacking these Druze villages, but it's also Bedouin clans, and like everybody's in on this right now. Like um, the armed forces, by the way, like the quote unquote military in Syria, which is under the new government, which is only since November, headed by Mohammed al Julani. They're also comprised of jihadist mercenaries from other countries, such as Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, etc. Same people, literally the same people who were involved in the massacre of the Alawites a couple months ago, now are going after the Druze minority. But it's also intra, um, like internally in Syria. It's also like this group wins versus the Druze, and and that's actually still going on right now. Like despite the fact that there was a ceasefire, and Israel has, with as far as I know, withheld fire for the last day, there's still fighting going on. So, um, so if you want some background on that and also who were the Druze people, I would say go back to my previous video, which would be if you're on YouTube, it's not under lives, it's under the regular video tab. Something like is titled Syria is exploding because it really was. So anyway, so that's been going on. Trying to think of, just so far what we're hearing are many awful atrocities. There have been killings, though we don't know any. I can give you no idea. I have no idea what the number of dead is, whether it's 100 or a couple hundred, I have no idea. I did see a video of some women and their very young daughters, like looking like 3 years old, kidnapped in a car, driving away from the village. That is just awful. So what else? Um, the men that they are taking, they are shaving their beards, which is really like an act of humiliation that they're doing to the Druze men because they're no their mustaches. They're shaving the mustache is like, it's a sign of you're an elder in the Druze faith, and they're just shaving them off. Um, so so this has been going on for days now, and has continued today. And so, anyway, so that's one thing. Now I'm going to switch to a completely different topic uh, that has to do with Christians in Israel. Now, when I say Christians in Israel, I'm not talking about the indigenous Christians. Like, for instance, here we're at the Greek Catholic Patriarchate. This is a Greek Catholic church right here, and I'm in the Christian quarter. But I'm talking about the evangelical Christians who come here and have organizations here. Some organizations are institutions which predate the state of Israel, like the Anglicans and some of the Baptists. I mean, they have these organizations that go back for a while. And then there's more modern ones. But the thing about them is, interestingly, they're these evangelical organizations are usually very pro-Israel. So when they're pro-Israel, and you see, like, if you follow the news, it's like the Christian Zionists who support Israel. This is what I'm talking about. And yet they're having a very serious problem with the Israeli government getting and maintaining visas for their people, and for their organizations to continue. So the new ambassador from the US to Israel is Mike Huckabee. I'm sure many of you know him. If you didn't know him before he got this position, I mean, you knew him from Fox News, you knew him as the governor of Arkansas. He's an evangelical Christian, and he's like deeply pro-Israel, and he's an evangelical Christian. Well, this is just breaking in the last couple days, but he has been at odds with the Israeli Ministry of Interior in fighting for these evangelical organizations to get their visas. And this has been an issue for 2 years now, that the Ministry of Interior, which is run by ultra Orthodox parties. Look at this, by the way. Behind me, Muslim family, probably going to the Western Wall. Here you go. Israeli army, soldiers right here. Um, Simultaneously, ultra Orthodox Jews heading to the Western Wall for Shabbat. I mean, this is like total convergence of everything happening right now. Jaffa Gate out there. That's like the main entrance from West Jerusalem, or Jewish Jerusalem, to the old city. But here you go. I'll just be quiet for a second so you can observe. Look, Israeli soldiers who are Jewish, and ultra Orthodox Jews who are Jewish, walking by. Secular Jews that just walked by after they bought something right here from a shop, which is most likely Muslim owned. And we saw a Muslim family walking by. But it's crazy. Here you go. Check it out. All right. I'm moving on. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Okay. So, oh, and actual tourists. I hear English. Wow. There are very few tourists. We're still like in war mode. It's still very hard to get flights here, etc. So, hard to get in, hard to get out. It's not easy, and it's not cheap. Let's put it that way. So, anyway, so what was I saying? So, the Christians and the visas. So, All right, sorry about that. So these evangelical pro-Israel Zionist organizations have had trouble getting visas in the last couple of years. Now, what coincides with the last couple of years? The current government. Now they have given charge of the Ministry of Interior to this party called Shas. Shas has always, almost always since I remember, they want the Ministry of Interior folder. This is an ultra Orthodox party. They're Sephardic, ultra Orthodox, and they always want control of the Ministry of Interior because they want the makeup of the country to be what they want it to be. So, so they don't want evangelical Christians, even though they bring support for Israel and money for Israel. So what they're doing right now is they have all of these organizations on hold with the visas. Actually heard, I didn't even know this was going on because I don't need to worry about that at the moment. I've got a different process going to be able to live here. Um, so I didn't even know this was happening, but they are investigating all of the people who apply for a visa, like doing in-depth background investigations of these people and deciding whether or not they should be eligible for visas. I interrupt myself to tell you that this new coffee shop, Tuma, Tuma Coffee House, might be the best coffee in all of Jerusalem. Very, very good. Brand new. Okay, so let me go back. So Mike Huckabee, who's an evangelical Christian, has now gotten involved and has threatened that if Israel does not give up the visas now to these evangelical organizations, he is going to have to repay that with making it more difficult for Israelis to get visas to the U.S. Also, he's the kind of he has brought in the past groups to Israel, evangelical groups to Israel. And so now, what is like, who are the people that come to Israel right now? Jews and evangelicals. Those are the ones coming to Israel. So this is like they are now all threatening to withhold this from each other. So he stepped into this a couple months ago, and when it didn't happen, he apparently made like some sort of public threat that he was going to repay like not giving visas with not giving visas. And the Ministry of Interior, the Minister of Interior, wrote a very scathing letter saying, well, whoa, I didn't expect that you were going to act like this. Like we were talking about this very diplomatically. So why are you suddenly making threats like this? And this was like just in the last couple of days. And then Huckabee wrote yesterday another letter that said, you have not done any of the things that we talked about in the last couple of days. So because of that, I don't know what, now I'm going to have to take action. So this is where we are right now. Hello. You're live? Well, I am live. Yeah. Have you ever seen my lives? Have you ever been on my lives? I don't know if you want to be. I'm fine. Oh, great. Okay. So it's paused right now because my daughter keeps calling, and that is so frustrating. Oh my gosh. I don't know what's happening. Let me see. Oh, I might have to end it. Did you want to be on? No, all right, fine. Okay. But okay, we're back. I know my daughter keeps calling and it's really like messing up my life. But anyway, yeah, I'm on. You're on. And Hi. So Gary, Hi. Right, from England. From England. But like you're like Armenian now. No, kind of. I'm learning. You say Parag to me when I walk. It's amazing. Course, yeah, emphasis. Shadlov.
Shadlov.
Shadlov. Can you explain how? I mean, most people are probably in the U.S., but can you explain how somebody from England comes here and like kind of gets absorbed into the Armenian community of Jerusalem?
It's actually so incredibly easy. Everybody here is so welcoming and so friendly. And like when you get here, you meet people like once you've been invited for a cup of coffee or dinner or something, like you're friends with like everybody. So
Yeah,
basically they're yeah, everyone's so welcoming, yeah.
that's really cool.
Basically if you spend enough time here, you just sort of get absorbed into the community kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. And you also are picking up the language.
Yeah, I'm learning. I have a little book and I'm learning the language. So I'm learning how to read and write first, then hopefully full sentences and some other things. Yeah.
How did you like did you know anything or what did you know about Armenians and Armenian language and everything before you came here?
I didn't know anything about Armenian language.
Mhm.
However, I did know a lot about Armenia and Armenians because I grew up with Armenian friends in school
Okay, in England.
in England. Yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
So one of the first things that I did was actually help a classmate of mine campaign for her brother to stay in the UK as an Armenian refugee from
Wow.
Iraq. So yeah, during the Iraq War.
Oh, very fascinating.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my gosh. Okay.
so that's how I know about Armenia and
Okay.
Armenians. Yeah.
All right. And did you know about the food? Because I see you now working at some of the restaurants or helping out there,
I'm
let's
helping out,
say.
so I don't. Yeah, I
Uh-huh.
don't work at all. I just sort of help out. But yeah, the restaurants are amazing. The food, Armenian food, is like, I don't know how I'm not fatter than I am because I'm just
Because it's so
eating. Yeah,
healthy.
yeah. Well, it is. It's really healthy. The food is delicious. You have to try the mante.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh.
And yeah, like there's so many options, and also
Mhm.
some wine. I'm not sure if they told you, but they just got the shipment
Yeah.
of Armenian wine
Yes.
from Armenia. It's arrived.
Oh,
So
I
it's gonna be
heard.
here on Monday.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait. That's
Yeah,
going to be like, guys, like get ready for the unveiling of the Armenian wine that has finally arrived in Jerusalem.
yeah.
It's going to be
It's the
amazing.
first shipment of Armenian wine
Yeah.
because nobody else brings it.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be at Rewind, and yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yep. I asked like tonight because we were just there. I asked,
Yeah.
and I was expecting to see you, but I saw you anyway.
Well, yeah,
A little bit later, right?
I've been in Armenian class for 4 hours.
Oh, that's great.
So yeah.
Oh, nice. Oh my God. Oh my God. He's going to be way better than me because I have nothing. But yeah, you're going to be way better than me very
Yeah,
soon.
yeah.
But that's awesome. Very cool. Okay.
So yeah, looking forward to it. So I'm just enjoying my time. Jerusalem is so peaceful, it's so amazing. Like it's not what people try to make it out to be. Like there's just so much here to do and see, and you enjoy yourself when you're here.
That's
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
that's really cool. That's really cool. It's so funny. I wouldn't give the word peaceful to Jerusalem, but okay.
It's in the old city. It's nice.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like there are problems, and of course, I'm sure you talk about the problems.
Yeah. But also just the traffic. Like just the, problems aside, just sitting in the traffic of Jerusalem makes it not peaceful.
Or with everybody beeping at each other. Everything. You mean the
And
drive?
trust
You mean the driving etiquette?
Yes.
The
Yes.
driving
The
etiquette.
driving. Everything.
Yeah, yeah. The driving etiquette is really, really bad here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. Well, God bless,
Thank you very much. Enjoy,
Yeah.
and yeah, you'll have to tell me more about this.
Yes, I
at some
will.
point.
I will.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much.
Do you do this every day more?
Not every day, but when I'm here, it's perfect. And when there's crazy breaking news. Awesome. Thank you, Gary. Okay. Bye. Bye. So there you go. There's a little slice of life here in Jerusalem. I'm going to be waiting for Tony. He's picking up pizza, homemade pizza by Hagop. And then we're going to bring it to the kids, like of which is calling like insistently as I do this live. So anyway, it's all going down on Sunday. Sunday is a work day here, and there is going to be a meeting with the Ministry of Interior, with lawyers, with the American ambassador. Now, here's another thing that Huckabee did this week. Like he's the ambassador, but he's doing like a little extracurricular. This one I can understand, the visas, but this week he went to the Tel Aviv District Court, the trial of Benjamin Netanyahu, the prime minister, and he went there because he said he wanted to observe. He wanted to see what was going on, and he wanted to see if it really is, as President Trump has been calling it, a witch hunt. He wanted to see if it was really a witch hunt. And he went there. I don't know if he brought it, but he had a Bugs Bunny. And now, why did he have a Bugs Bunny doll there? He said that the trial has been portrayed as cigars and Bugs Bunny. And now the Bugs Bunny reference is to somebody that the Netanyahu's are accused of getting favors from, and they said we want a Bugs Bunny doll for our son or something like that. But I don't know if he showed up with that doll or if he was handed it while he was there. But in any case, he and all the public were asked to leave, and he was trying to basically, it looked like he was of the opinion and trying to send the message that this is not a legitimate trial, it's a witch hunt against Netanyahu. Now I can say that many Israelis did not react really well to that and felt like that was a little bit of interference in their judicial process. So that was so very interesting to see how it was received by like the different sides. And anyway, not really sure what to say about that. It was a little bizarre to see the ambassador at the courthouse, but in any case, they were all asked to leave. Anybody who was not part of the trial was asked to leave, and he did leave. He did make a reference as well to cigars, and he said if it was only cigars, that it probably would have been just like with the White House swept under the rug. I don't know. You got to be, a kid of the 1990s to know what he's referring to there. But anyway, so um, all right, so stay tuned because what is going to be tomorrow in southern Syria? That is the big question. And what is going to be with the Christian visa situation? Because I mean, that is absolutely interesting actually to find out whether or not, I mean, the Israel, like a lot of Israeli organizations, listen, they're very welcoming of the Christian support, of course. To a fault. Some of them, they love getting the money of the Christians, but these ultra orthodox, they do not want the Christian organizations in Israel. They don't want to give them visas. Like that's been a known thing for years now. It's been going on since I got here, and I was on one of these visas. Um, actually, I know people like some of the people who were in the first wave of when they cut off the visas to these Christians and said, you have 2 weeks to get out of the country. I don't even know if I want to say that it was actually my sister who was one of the first ones who was kicked out and had about 2 weeks to pack up and leave. So it was a little ridiculous, but at the same time, they want the support, they want the money, they know they need the support, like when it comes to anti-Semitism around the world and having spokespeople and influencers who are going to also like stand with Israel or whatever, like these are, aside from Jews, this is also the Christians, these are the evangelical Christians. So if they're the ones that are getting investigated and denied visas, at this, like here in Israel, I mean, that's obviously, this is like a diplomatic nightmare. But anyway, hey, that's up to them. So they've got a meeting Sunday. So I'm going to try to find out what's happening with that. Meanwhile, will Shah still be in charge of the Ministry of Interior? We don't know because they have quit the government. But we're not really sure what that means because they're still letting the government stand. It's like a whole, I'm not even going to get into that one now. It has to do with the the mandatory draft law of the ultra Orthodox. In any case, okay, there's that. And of course, there's Syria. What is going to happen in Syria? Will there be Druze left in Syria tomorrow? Will the rebels and the Bedouins and everybody else be on Israel's northern border tomorrow? We don't know. These are the things. All right. So So if you want to know, subscribe, like, please share this video. I will be back with the latest news, and I'll let you know what's happening. I'm going to be anxiously following it all. Okay, perfect timing. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. I'm going to end it now. Um, that one's fleeing the scene. He doesn't want to be on the live. All right. Anyway,